It's 16 weeks now since the catastrophic bushfires in Victoria killed 173 people. But already the place is regenerating and the survivors are slowly reclaiming their lives. To do that, they must face every day with memories you and I can't begin to imagine. Such a man is Darren Gibson. Black Saturday claimed everything in his world, his home, his wife and his children. In the cold, legalistic confines of a Melbourne courtroom, a royal commission searches for answers to this calamity. But it's only when you hear stories of grief and courage like Darren's that you truly comprehend the enormity of their loss and the bravery of spirit it takes to simply keep on going. Nearly 200 people died in this deeply forested high country during Victoria's Black Saturday bushfires. Among the ashes lie stories of loss, courage and survival that until now have not been told.
Do you know, Charlie, you might look at a photo and you see the kids and you know how much fun they were having and how much they were playing, and you think to yourself, they had such pure white skin, and you think to yourself, it just doesn't seem right what's occurred, you know?
My kids actually asked me not long ago, what would you do, Mum, if you lost one of us? And I said, I'd probably curl up and die if I lost one of my kids. And I lost two, and I'm still standing, and I don't know how. I honestly don't know how. Sometimes I wish I wasn't.
It's been 16 weeks now since those terrible fires swept down through this valley, apparently obliterating everything. But of course they didn't. Already all around me there's evidence of grasses, of ferns regrowing, and most clearly on the charred trunks of the eucalypts, that characteristic green fuzz that tells you that the gum trees are coming back. And if nature in the Australian bush is always resurgent, so too is the spirit of the people who live here. In Kinglake, football reigns supreme. So much so, this little town supports 3 teams. In the fire's wake, this club has become the heart of the community for residents like Rebecca and Ross Buchanan. They've lived here since 1993, raising 4 children. 2 of them, Neve and Macca, died in the fires. Why do you stay now?
Because this is home. Because this is
Do you stay for their memories?
Yeah.
Not
Probably.
in spite of them?
Yeah. No, I stay for their memories. And, you know...
This is our community.
Yeah. The community being so good. We've had so much help. And they stand by us, so we stand by them.
But beneath the outward signs of recovery, these people hide deep scars.
That's my best one. I can see that. I can do that, yeah.
You're certainly the glass is half full sort of bloke, aren't you?
You've got to be, Charlie. If you're not, you've got no
chance.
Yeah, there's no chance, Charlie. No.
Darren Gibson is healing, but his story of loss and survival haunts him for every hour of every day. A story he now tells for the first time.
Just before the fire, we were living the dream life, you know. It is a slice of paradise. And, you know, Charlie, I didn't see the danger.
Like so many, Darren had brought his family to Kinglake for a life among the gum trees, the good life. Now this former soldier has lost everything. His home, Leslie, his wife of 10 years, and his 3 children, Kiona, Jai and Ava.
Of course, I think to myself, I took my family there, so that's a little bit hard to swallow for me.
Tragedies like Darren's are being revealed daily as the Victorian Royal Commission investigates the fires. But the cold, hard facts in the courtroom can't adequately describe the day when fire engulfed the Gibsons' dream home on the 7th of February.
I looked across at the paddock. It was a bare paddock with just like wheat fields, and I could see the fire starting to race towards me.
Darren tried to fight the fire with a garden hose, but the heat was too intense. The family took refuge in the house.
We had to stay inside for some sort of shelter, even though the house was on fire. And then the house, even the flames, was going across the roof. And we were still there, but then I got a big gulp of like poisonous gas or something like that, and it almost choked me, and I said, "Get out, get out."
Darren grabbed 3-year-old Jai and baby Ava. His wife Leslie took 4-year-old Keona. But once outside, the flames seared their skin.
And then Leslie was screaming, "It's burning, it's burning." And so then I said, "Leslie, we've got to go down the mountain." So I said, "You have to jump the fence and go, you know." And so she's jumped the fence with Keona and gone down.
But when Darren caught up, he found Leslie slumped on the burning hot earth.
And I'd noticed her sitting there. I noticed her sitting there on the ground with Keona like this, nursing her. And I just couldn't understand why Leslie was sitting on the ground over there. And I've yelled to her, "Get to the dam, go to the dam." The dam was about another 20 metres. And she yelled to me, "I can't move."
This was smoke inhalation, heat exhaustion.
I think she was too burnt or something
Too
like
burnt.
that. And she was sitting on the ground, and I don't understand how she could be sitting on that ground. So I thought, okay, I've got to try and save Ava first. And I put Jai down on the towel. And I ran straight across to the dam. There's a little fence. I just threw Ava over. I don't even know where she landed. I just threw her. And then I'd run back. And I was screaming every time my feet hit the ground because my shoes had melted off already by this time. And I was running. Every step I was just yelling, try and get the pain away.
In terrible agony, Darren searched desperately for his son.
I got back to where I thought Jai was, and I'm looking around. There was a lot of smoke, and I couldn't find him. I couldn't see him anywhere, and so, you know, and I just ran back, seen Leslie and Keona had passed away, and
His wife and daughter dead and unable to find Jai, Darren raced back to where he'd left 2-year-old Ava at the dam.
and we laid there on the edge, just on the edge with all of our body in the water and just our heads out. And she was just laying there with her eyes closed saying, "Mum, Mum." She's... I told you Ava was tough.
Yeah.
She was just laying there going, "Mum, Mum." And I was talking to her, "Sweetheart, we're getting lollies soon. We're going up to the shop and we're going to get lollies and we're going to go and see Mum." But she had her eyes closed. I don't know where she was. She might have been in limbo, I don't know what. And at that time I started to nod off myself, actually.
Father and daughter were finally found by a neighbour and rushed to hospital, where Darren spent a month in a medically induced coma. He awoke to find that Ava too had died.
She looked really peaceful, and when they decided to turn the machine off. So she was really peaceful, and I prefer to think of it as she decided to go with her mum and her brothers and sisters. And you know, Charlie, it's probably a good thing because she was quite burnt. So it was probably a good thing in the end for her. Although I would have loved her to be with me today.
Of course you would. In a world thrown out of kilter, the father has to bury his children. a reversal of the natural order of things and one that so many victims of Black Saturday have had to endure. I can't even comprehend what it would be like to attend the funeral of one's own children.
It was really hard, but it was actually just another step.
That was
but
hard.
The funeral was a bit like, not a release, but it was the last thing I could do for the kids. And so we gave them a party, you know. It was a big celebration for them.
Rebecca and Ross Buchanan thought they'd planned so well, evacuating their youngest children to Rebecca's parents' place in the relative safety of the village. Unaccountably, the house and the deep bush survived, while her parents' place in Kinglake burnt to the ground. And Rebecca heard it all on a mobile phone call.
I rang my dad's mobile and it rang for a change. And so I waited and waited and waited. I kept saying, please ring, please answer, please answer, please answer. Eventually my brother answered and he said, I said, Dan, what's happening? He goes, we're stuffed. It's really bad. The house is on fire. And I could hear all the commotion going on inside the house. So I could hear the smoke alarms going. I could hear the dogs. I could hear the people. And he said, we're really stuffed. He said, and I said, well, can you get out? And he goes, no, we can't get out. We're surrounded.
Including Rebecca's 2 children, 5 people died in that house, her brother Dan among them. Part of the grim pattern of death that Saturday when a total of 113 died inside their homes, leaving the survivors like shell-shock casualties of war.
I love the Anzac stories, and you know, we're all Anzacs. You know, we've returned from a war, and we're going to be here for each other. You know, and the mental problems that we do have are no dissimilar to somebody returning from a war, and you know, it will go on for years.
So too will the questions and recriminations. The Royal Commission has much ground to cover. Darren believes his family might be alive today had the authorities warned him before they closed off his only escape route.
I think to myself, why weren't we informed when you're going to block a road off? That doesn't happen in 5 seconds. And to me, I'm a little bit upset that if you're going to decide to do this, in your planning stages, why haven't you bloody told the people? We would have been straight down. We
A little bit upset.
Yeah, I'm quite a bit upset because children burning is not good.
This hasn't been an easy story to tell, nor probably easy to watch. The emotional wounds, just like the physical ones, are still raw and visceral and will be for a long time to come. Still, for all that, you can't meet people like Darren Gibson and the Buchanans and not come away inspired by their strength, their courage, and even more by their sheer human decency. You are a model. You're a tower of strength for all of us.
If that's the
we
case,
can only hope that there's a bit of Darren in all of us if we're ever challenged in the way you are.
I hope no one, things like that are going to happen.
Yeah.
But it's a horrific thing, and if I've been able to achieve anything, of course it's from the military background. Of course it is. Of course
it's from the heart.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You can't train all that into somebody. There's something good in there to begin with.
Yeah.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hello, I'm Amelia Adams. Thanks for watching 60 Minutes Australia. Subscribe to our channel now for our brand new stories and exclusive clips every week. And don't miss out on our extra minute segments and full episodes of 60 Minutes on 9now.com.au and the 9Now app.